think over the last 2 days, we have heard really some wonderful speeches, some inspiring speeches. And I was thinking, what can I say more? Because I think we have said it all. Yesterday was enlightening to me. And from my perspective as a newcomer to CGIAR, but a kid of the CGIAR, and somebody that was here for the first time back in '98 in Summit for my PhD, and I had the chance to have Norman Borlaug as my neighbor for about 2 weeks. It's really about how do we put things together. It's not a lack of innovation. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's not a lack of technologies. It's that we are missing the dots. We are not connecting the dots. And I go back to what Ted said about the total factor productivity. If we look what happens in the last few years, the high-income countries are able today to produce much more with much less. So they're producing more per unit of land, unit of water, unit of resources. And how did they do it? It's all through innovation. It's new technologies, new innovation that happened only in that strata of high-income countries. You go lower in the high-middle-income countries, and they had some of it. You go lower to the low-middle-income countries, they had a bit of increase that is based on innovation. But you go to the low-income countries, and none of it is there. All the increase of productivity in Africa, mostly, has been on clearing new land. Can we continue this way? No, we cannot. So what's the solution? It's take what high-income countries did, bring that solution to the South, to the global South. And I think we are not doing it enough. And we are not doing it enough because there is a lot of lack of political will. There is a huge economical gains and trades-off. And there is a lack of focus on what matters the most. And for me, agriculture matters the most. Why? Much more than anything else. I love education, I love health. It talks to my heart as well. But agriculture is giving job to more than 3 billion people on the planet. So almost 50% of us. Agriculture produces food for all of us on the planet. And agriculture is really the home and the house of the most vulnerable populations, whereby 500 million small-scale farmers are producing most of the food that we have. So how could we really bring agriculture on a priority and make sure that we do what is needed to use agriculture both to reduce poverty, cut completely or eradicate malnutrition, but also protect our natural resources and our planet? And I think really that we didn't give it justice because we did not gather as a team together. If I think about energy, for example, energy did great when, as climate change came on the surface, they gathered together and they created really narrative that yes, with renewable energy, we can cut on emission. And we all bought in it. Policymakers run after it. They put subsidies. They put investment in innovation. We didn't do that for agriculture. And because we are not saying the story right, we are not saying that the only component in nature that can sequester carbon is soils, it's plant with the chlorophyll, it's waters. So nature have shown us where the solution is, but we are running away from it. And I think really, I would like really to see a just transition for agri-food system. Right now, we are pushing all the problems on the small-scale producers, on the small-scale farmers. We are saying to the farmers that when I produce more to have a better life, no, you have to do it, but with this path and that path and that path. And guess what? We're not paying for you to move to the other path. So we want a sustainability, but we are not aligning the incentives for sustainability. And I think that's the voice that we need, and I'm very happy, Bram, that you brought many farmers, particularly women, to tell us how they are living this. So I think really what we need to do, in my view, and I think from the CGIAR perspective, we need to play a role of a network of network. We need tech transfer to the South. We need capacity sharing with the countries. We need to nurture the South-South collaboration. But above all, we need to bring innovation to the hand of those farmers that need it. And we need to get the story right. We need to make sure that we have subsidies, that we have incentives, not necessarily subsidies, but incentives to move towards sustainability. And I want to just remind the example of Roy on how much we know now that we didn't know years ago. And we might be doing some mistakes that we all recognize. But today we have the tools to do it. We have the innovation to do it. I was with a bright scientist just yesterday in New York, and he told me that he was looking at the soils in Africa, which are very poor soils, and we all know. And it took him a long time to understand how ants basically go down the earth about 10 meters to pick up some minerals and take them up to the plants. And that shows really what nature is. It's synergies between different species. But because we don't know it, we will kill the ants. We'll just put them aside. We don't know that their nature is to go down, bring those traces that the plant without it could not grow. So nature is beautiful, definitely, and we need to discover it. And by discovering it, we need to really be more inclusive and more giving to agriculture, because it's an important sector, but also to the global south and the small-scale producers. Thank you.